Dhamma talks by Mogok Sayadaw, the 26th of February 1960 to the 2nd of March 1960, in Mandalay. 5 kinds of right view. T1. Sayadaw explained the 5 kinds of right view one by one. 1. Kammasakata samaditi, belief in law of kamma, cause and effect. 2. Jhana samaditi, right view in jhana. 1 and 2 can be existed outside the Buddha's teachings. 3. Vipassana samaditi, right view in insight knowledge. With this knowledge, by practicing hard in this life, can be realized Nibbāna. 4. Magga samaditi, right view of the path knowledge. Its result is cutting off the round of rebirth. 5. Phala samaditi, right view in the fruition knowledge. Only with the path, magga, that the fruit, phala, can be possible. From 3 to 5 are the practices of the holy life, magga brahmacharya. The practice of the holy life is working on the arising process of dependent origination, paticca samuppada. When the 5 khandhas are arising, what happened to them? Just make this habitual exercise on them. As an example, when you are hearing a sound, it appears in the ear and disappears there. Make this habitual exercise. After hearing and not existing is passing away. Other khandhas are also passing away with it. In this talk, Sayadaw referred to the 6 sense doors eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind as the 6 beggars who are always asking for what they want. T2. In this talk, Sayadaw gave the instruction on Vedananupassana. According to the Sayadaw, in the Satipatthana Sutta, the Buddha separated the 5 khandhas into 4 groups for sati to the Suttanta way. Actually, they arise and cease together. Yogi usually does not clear about these. We should mindful whatever khandha is clear to us. Sayadaw said, the 5 khandhas always starting from consciousness, vijnana, and easy to discern. The first stage of realization, entering the stream, is destroying wrong view and doubt. Most people take the mind as a permanent soul, also most of the religions, so the importance of Cittanupassana. Sayadaw taught how to develop insight. By watching and observing whatever arises will discern anicca. But it does not mean that we see the arising and ceasing at the same moment. With sati we see the arising, sankhara, and then by observing or contemplating it's not there anymore. Knowing the object of arising and observing the object can't arise together, because 2 minds could not arise together or at the same moment. Every time seeing anicca is killing the wrong views. Vipassana samaditi means seeing rightly. Seeing rightly on what? It's seeing the beginning of the dependent arising, paticca samuppada. If you can't catch on the beginning, must be in the middle. Do not contemplate the past ignorance, avidya, and rebirth consciousness, patisandhi vijnana, but the present moment consciousness, pavuti vijnana. The beginning of the khandha is consciousness or the 6 consciousness. In the Satipatthana Sutta mentioned separately. I am talking about their combination. When they are arising and passing away, not in separately. As an example, when hearing consciousness arises, with hearing consciousness, feeling, perception, volitional formation, the 4 mind khandhas, namakanda, are arising together. If you contemplate the most prominent one and all the other 4 are included. Why I ask you to contemplate consciousness? Because it's clear and no need to search for. In this talk Sayadaw was using feeling to explain the practice. If you are contemplating the arising of feeling, will see the disappearance of it. Insight knowledge, vipassana gnana, is seeing the impermanence of conditioned phenomena, sankhara. By conditioning it is arising and disappearing. In conclusion, when you see the arising and passing away, is it like the light going out and becoming darkness? If you see in this way, then it becomes 2 minds. You will see it as not there. It is in this way that using the words arising and passing away, uday abhaya. We are using it because it is arising and disappearing. In reality, seeing the arising is not there. You meet the non-existence. The past moment conditioned Dhamma is not there anymore. If the yogi sees in this way, the identity view, Sakkaya Ditthi, to painful rebirth is falling away. The Buddha asked to kill the seed of painful rebirths. Contemplate the conditioned Dhamma of existence and non-existence is the right view of vipassana knowledge, vipassana samadhi. Seeing it as exist and not exist is without the wrong view. Therefore, wrong view is falling away by practice. This is seeing the impermanence of phenomena, Dhamma, without any person and being. What is the benefit of insight knowledge? Wrong view is falling away. It can dispel the three types of wrong view that insight knowledge is very important, i.e., identity view, permanent view and annihilation view. T3. Let someone dies after seeing impermanence will not fall into painful rebirths, hell, animal, ghost Peter. Because of the falling away of wrong view and in the next life will realize the path of stream entry, Sotapatti Magga. It was mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya. Analyzing the mind and body is dispelling wrong view by perception, Sana. By discerning of Anicca is wisdom, Panna. If wrong view is not dispelled, and it's like a stone has fallen into the water, never come up again. We missed many Buddhas as much as sand grains in the river Ganges were because of wrong view. This is the root of all unwholesome dharmas. In the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha said that the Dhamma to Nibbāna was vipassana. If you ask why it does so, then the answer is the falling away of Sakkaya Ditthi. By seeing the arising and passing away and contemplating up to disenchantment of it, then vipassana will come to an end. Now, I will talk about Magga Samadhi. It means the Noble Eightfold Path. It's the leader of right view. If you ask what is the difference between No. 3 and No. 4, vipassana right view and path right view. No. 3 is ending up in impermanence, anicca. Its ability is seeing impermanence and the functioning of dispelling Sakkaya Ditthi. The Magga Samadhi is not seeing impermanence and has the function of seeing Nibbāna. To become No. 4, have to work with No. 3, for many times. Don't think Nibbāna as like the circular sun and moon, it's the cessation of impermanence, peaceful and cool nature. The knowing of it is the path. It's quite a different view. King Milinda asked then, Nagasena, please explain to me the seeing of Nibbāna by practice. Nibbāna exists, but not in the three periods of time, past, present, future, answered Nagasena. The king responded, if it's free from the three periods of time, it can't be existed. I'll give an example. Normally there is no fire in these two pieces of bamboo. But if you are rubbing them together for a longer period of time and fire will come out. In the same way, if you contemplate impermanence for many times, then Nibbāna appears. For the one who is practicing, it exists. You don't need the paramis. You have the qualities which were mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya. First with vipassana knowledge contemplating impermanence and then later it will mature. At last, Nana, mind or knowledge, is turning towards the no arising and passing away. That's Nibbāna. T4. 5 kinds of right view came from Anguttara Nikaya. Without the No. 3, you can't get the No. 4. The meaning here is without falling away of wrong view, you can't get the path. Give an example. When you do the farming, first you have to clear up grasses and weeds, and then collecting them together for burning. Clearing the grasses and weeds and collecting them are like insight knowledges, and burning them is like the path, Magga. Insight knowledges kill the coarse defilements. The path kills the latent disposition, Anusaya. The insight right view is more important than the path right view. Today I'll explain it from the Majjhima Nikaya. Don't take it that without the dawn period the sun will come out. It's impossible. Insight right view comes before path right view and it will follow later, After. Vipassana right view is preceding right view. Purkarika nana. The first knowledge has to develop. Have to contemplate the impermanence of the conditioned phenomena of the mind-body process. Wrong view has 3 stages: the coarse, the mild and the refined stage, active, stimulated, latent. Impermanence can stop only the coarse and the mild ones, can't deal with the refined one. This is leaving for the path to do the job. Sayadaw explained the 3 stages of wrong view with examples. You want me to knock your head? The angry mother scolds her naughty boy. This comes out from the stimulated one. In the real knocking of the head becomes the coarse one. The one practices vipassana, the coarse and the mild ones not arise. But the latent wrong view of thinking such as, this is my son, is existing. Only the path can uproot this one. It's difficult to shave the hairs on the baby head. The hairs on the man are easier to shave. Path knowledge is like shaving the hairs of a baby. It's like also after clearing up the forest and uprooting the trees. I'll tell you what happened in the body during the arising of the path knowledge. Not seeing the arising and passing away of the khandhas. Dukkha nirodho, dukkha is ceased. It's like using 1,000 pots of water pouring on the body and the heat element is cooling down, experiencing as all the coolness pile up and a peaceful nature. It seems in this way. You don't know the khandhas exist but happiness only. If it is appearing in this way, the real path knowledge, nothing exists but the existence of peaceful nature, without any kind of burden but lightness only. Seeing dukkha ceases and not knowing the khandhas exist. The reason for the peacefulness is the heat element of ditthi kilesa, defilement of wrong view, has been extinguished. The view is peaceful and the knowing is cool. Nibbāna is near. It's far because you don't go straightly. If defilements come in and deceive you, then it's not straight anymore. Kilesas are burdened living beings by disturbing them on the straight way to Nibbāna. Whatever suffering is the working of defilements. There are 16 kilesas. If you do sitting meditation, increase the time span and sit with determination, adhitthana. The Buddha mentioned that by contemplating impermanence was the straight way to Nibbāna. T5. Knowing that the khandhas not exist is vipassana samadhi. The practice of knowing the khandhas not exist is the function of insight. We had the desire, so we got it. Nibbāna is without the khandhas. If this knowledge becomes longer, Nibbāna is closer. Insight knowledge seeing the khandhas not exist for momentarily, and in the path knowledge the khandha is ceased. If khandhas exist in Nibbāna, it will become the noble truth of dukkha. This point is very important for every Buddhist, whatever his, her believed system, and not to be confused. Therefore, it was true in the commentary of Samyutta Nikaya that insight knowledge was the nearest to the knowledge of Nibbāna. Therefore, Vipassana Nana is seeing Nibbāna partially. Nibbāna and insight knowledge, both of them see the non-existing of khandhas. Their differences are, Nibbāna always do not see the khandhas, and insight knowledge is not seeing momentarily. If you have developed insight knowledge, you can die happily. Continue to practice diligently will realize Nibbāna. Do you need paramis? You need only practice diligently with the 4 supreme efforts. Samapadhana, see in the factors of enlightenment, bodhipakkhya Dhamma. It's now clear on the ways of seeing. Therefore, insight knowledge disbanding the khandhas is true. In the Samyutta Nikaya commentary, it was mentioned more than that. During the seeing of anicca, craving and clinging have no chance to come in. Therefore, insight knowledge is disbanding the khandhas and also craving. It's similar to carry 2 baskets with a pole. Disbanding the khandhas is seeing Nibbāna temporarily. Disbanding craving is cutting off the round of rebirth, samsara. So the Buddha said, insight knowledge was many times excellent than ordinary wholesome Dhamma. Path knowledge is abandoning the khandhas and also defilements, and seeing Nibbāna, which is without khandhas, 3 functions. When the path knowledge appears, No need to ask others, you will see no khandhas. Seeing Nibbāna and no kilesa comes. Vipassana knowledge cannot see Nibbāna. The differences are 3 functions and 2 functions. The khandhas disappear when the path knowledge appears. It's not, there is nothing. Knowing that dukkha is ceased and seeing Nibbāna. Vipassana knowledge and supramundane knowledge, lokuttara gnana, are quite different. Don't go and asking for someone. The Buddha taught exactly. In the working process of Vipassana practice, only 2 of the Vipassana knowledge and path knowledge exist. The other knowledges between them are the records of appearances and views. In reality all of them are Vipassana knowledge. In one of the Sayadaw's talks he gave a simile of sharpening a knife. Beginning to the end is the same knife, but it becomes sharper and sharper. Now talk about the right view of fruition knowledge. There are 2 kinds of fruition. Fruition follows behind the path knowledge, and the other behind the insight knowledge. Fruition follows behind the path knowledge is automatic, therefore akaliko, giving the result without delay. It comes by itself, Dhamma niyama, Dharma procedure, similar to the kamma and the result. The path is volitional kamma and fruition is result. Nibbāna always exists. You will ask, does everyone can see it? It exists for someone with the practice, without the practice not exists. Factors of enlightenment can happen only by practicing with the 4 supreme efforts. After the path ceases, the fruition appears. What is the benefit for its appearance? What is it disbanding? You can ask these questions. No khandhas anymore, so what it is to be disbanded for? The path kills the coarse defilements and fruition the refined one. To show an example, you pour a cup of water on a red burning charcoal and it becomes black. Don't go and touch it. It's still possessing with the heat power. Fruition appears for cooling the heat power. All your defilements are very coarse. It kills the leftover refined kilesa vapor. So fruition is more powerful than the path. Seeing Nibbāna and killing the refined kilesa vapor, 2 functions. Between the 2, fighting at war and making peace is more difficult. I will tell the fruition follows behind the path. Yogi with the weak knowledge, gnana, follows by 3 fruition mind moments. For the sharp one is 2 mind moments. And then followed by bhavanga citas and reviewing knowledge, pakavekana gnana. This is the fruition follows behind the path. T6. If you develop to the level of vipassana samadhi and become a small stream enterer, and then develop up to magga samadhi, become a sotapanna. The commentary used the term kala sotapanna because both share the same view, but she is still unstable. For the yogis to know what level in their practice, I will tell the mind of a sotapanna beforehand, so that one can check for oneself. And then I will tell you about entering into the fruition state. I will use the Saccaka Sutta from the Majjhima Nikaya, MN 35 Kalasaccaka Sutta. Ordinary people's views are unstable. So they are changing religions. But the disciples of yours are not in this way. What is the reason of it? Saccaka asked the Buddha. My disciples do not hear from what others said but by seeing themselves directly. Therefore, their views are not changing and never convert into other religions. Answered the Buddha. I will tell the right view of a sotapanna. Sayadaw recited the Pali verses. The Buddha taught them that mind, body phenomena were impermanent. They practiced accordingly what had been taught and realized it directly. Looking at one's own khandhas or others' khandhas and seeing that there was no person or being. And then they had the clear view and free from doubt. 1. Tina Visakicho. At first, begin to have this right view. That is during the practice. In everyday activities, the usages such as my children, my properties are not matter. People can't dispel doubt that changing religion. There is no thinking with doubt. 2. Vigata Kathamkatho. There is no such thinking as a person or a being exists. he can make a decision that it's only Dhamma which is arising and passing away. It becomes fixed in destiny, niyata, to Nibbāna only and not anywhere. He becomes brave and has confidence. 3. Vesarajapato, making the brave or confident decision that there is no person or being. To get this knowledge is not difficult. You have the good teacher. I always teach you to this point. Every time mind is arising and feeling arising, it's only mind and feeling. Is there any person or being with them? Only hearing consciousness is arising and disappearing. Is there anything with them? Every day I am teaching for entering the stream. Even in worldly matters we have to prepare for safety in livelihood. In the same way we should prepare for the supramundane, lokutara. Even should be more care about it. I am teaching to you that there are only impermanence of mind-body process and the process of cause and effect. Now, you know these by indirectly. Not ending up at other people's mouth. 4. Aparapakayo, means directly experience and not from others. True Dharma is right which had been taught by the Buddha or by me. But it should be right from the personal knowing. One's own decision is more important. With other saying is ending up at perception, sana, and not wisdom, panna. If a person equal to these 4 points, he is stable in the Buddha's teaching. It's impossible to reverse him whatever religion come and whatever ways be used. He just fixes in Nibbāna without any changing. However, rich with full of wealth and gems are not the real happiness. Even with these things can be in trouble and suffering. Only enter the stream is completed with the real happiness and gems of faith, saddha, virtue, sila, learning, sutta, generosity, kaga, shame and fear of wrongdoing, hiri and ottappa, wisdom, panna, the 7 jewels of a noble person. These 4 points of view are always there whenever someone becomes a stream enterer. This Dharma is not difficult. The whole Kuru country, during the Buddha's time, and now is the New Delhi area, practiced the Satipatthana and had the good results. With right attention, Yonasamanashikara will fulfill it. Every time when feeling is arising and knowing it as just feeling is right attention. If mind arising as mind and then with this right attention, it's easy to contemplate impermanence from behind. It's important to have right attention whatever is arising. The Buddha mentioned in the Anguttara Nikaya was by right attention whatever not increasing Dharma, phenomena, increase and whatever increasing Dharma develop. Even if you can't give a label to the arising phenomenon and knowing that Dharma arising is good enough. By learning, parayati, can give the labels. How can you do it without learning? By knowing that Dharma arising is right attention. In the Buddha's time Suppabuddha, Suppabuddhakutthasuttam Avudana, Khuddakanikaya, the leper and drunkard were no learning, but they had right attention. Knowing as Dharma arising is right attention. It's not a person, not a being and passing away. By following behind with this knowing is vipassana. Follow behind the path are 2 or 3 fruitions, phalas. Follow behind vipassana knowledge are many fruitions. I will explain a little about in fruition state. At the beginning seeing Dharma arising and passing away, but without analyzing the noble truths such as, this is the truth of dukkha, dukkha sakka, etc. And then all the impermanence suddenly ceases and changes into nirodha sakka. There is no path knowledge anymore. Instead the fruition mind stays with Nibbāna. Fruition minds are arising continuously, but they are also changing, and seeing Nibbāna unaccountably. This is in fruition state. Yogi is staying with the fruition mind. Dharma talks by Mogok Sayadaw, the 20th of June to the 22nd of June 1960, in Amarapura. Breaking the shells of ignorance. In these talks, Sayadaw talked about the 5 kinds of light. 1. Kammasakata samadhiti, belief in kamma and its result. Good action has the good result, etc. 2. Nama rupaparakeda nana, knowledge of the mind and body. 3. Pakaya paragaha nana, knowledge of cause and effect process. 4. Vipassana Nana or Lakkhana Nana, knowledge of Anicca. 5. Magga Nana, Nibbāna. T1. The 5-layer shells of ignorance are the 5 darkness. In the discourse of turning the wheel of Dhamma, aloko udapadi, light arose, means breaking away the 5-layer of shells of the darkness. 1. If you believe in action, kamma, and the result of it, the first layer of ignorance, avidya, is broken. 2. Understanding of the mind and body, the second layer of ignorance is broken. Mind is the master and body is the slave. 3. The third is understanding the dependent arising or the connection of cause and effect process appearing from the 6 sense doors. Then the third layer of ignorance is broken. Sariputta by hearing the short teaching of cause and effect and entered the stream. If the shells of ignorance of 1, 2, 3 are broken and call color sotapanna, definition by the commentary, small stream enter, because with sotapanna both share the same view. Free from the painful rebirth for next life. Dispel wrong view by knowing is nata parina. In next life not fall into painful rebirth, but the 5 layers of darkness can recover up again. Therefore, must dispel it by practice. 4. The fourth is by practice and seeing impermanence and ignorance will break off. If you can't discern it, the process of continuity covers up impermanence. Then you have to go back to know. 3. 5. If the process of impermanence is ended, the 5th layer of ignorance is broken. T2. This is an important talk on Vipassana practice. Talk about more detailed on Anicca. Sayadaw quoted from Milindapanna. King Milinda requested Ven. Nagasena to teach him how to develop Vipassana. He gave a simile. A tiger during hunting a prey, it hides himself in a bush where other animals used to come. When an animal approaches near, it jumps on the prey and kills it. If he is chasing the animal, maybe never catch it. In this simile, the tiger is yogi, watching is sati, bush is samadhi, jumping on and killing the prey is panna. Watching and seeing the animal approaching is sati. Killing the prey is sampajana / clear comprehension. So the whole process is sati, sampajana / mindfulness and clear comprehension. After that Sayadaw continued the instruction based on Sariputta's saying. Kayam imam samazatha, parajanatha punapunam, ke savavam disvana, dukkhasantam karisatha, milindapanna, kamakarangapano. Observe this mind-body process again and again continuously will see it arising and ceasing nature clearly with knowledge. And then strive on until dukkha come to an end. According to Sayadaw, Nagasena's instruction is for beginners, because in the beginning of practice samadhi is not very strong enough, so that only can discern the body coarse sensations. After long periods of practice and samadhi develop, that can discern the subtler sensations more and more as it shows its true nature. Discerning more will understand another nature as dukkha. Dukkha will come to an end with continued practice. This is Sariputta's instruction. Nagasena's instruction is sati sampajana. Sariputta's instruction is bhavatabba and pahatabba, developing and abandoning. Developing the insight knowledges and abandoning of kilesas. After discerning anicca, observing again and again continuously, bhavatabba, until dukkha end, pahatabba. Closing square bracket. Watching is sati. Caught on the prey of impermanence is sampajana. Sampajana means seeing rightly. It is panna. Samatha and vipassana are including together. You have sati so you can catch on it. If you can catch on the arising and passing away, the 4th ignorance is fallen away. Of the 5 layers of ignorance, it's important for the 4th avidya to be fallen away. Impermanence is always there. It's also equal to pasako. After that no need to watch. Nodding your head at whatever the kanda is showing you. Watching at it is Nagasena's instruction. After that nodding your head only is Sariputta's instruction. Bhavataba tilde by developing of seeing one's own dukkha and knowing that it's a great dukkha. With this making decision, then dukkha ceases. Watching and catching is for beginner in vipassana. Sariputta asked to observe the Dhamma which is showing us its nature again and again. And then you will know the story of your khandhas thoroughly. Sariputta taught up to dukkha sakha. This knowledge comes in when you see impermanence again and again. And then suddenly with a blip and there is nothing to contemplate. You will know that the greatest dukkha is not there anymore. It's the path knowledge of Nibbāna. It's true that no khandha is Nibbāna. Impermanent khandha is vipaka vata, resultant round of existence. Impermanence ceases free from the vata. Therefore, in the mind it appears like lightness and happiness. This is no need for paramitas, perfection. Only need for effort, viriya. The fourth ignorance can be broken by watching and catching. The fifth is only by knowing dukkha thoroughly. When the path knowledge arises, what happened in the body? By seeing dukkha continuously, and this dukkha ending will arise, and then follow by the knowledge of not wanting it. At the time tanha, craving, is extinguished with a blip and it ceases. It's like cooling by pouring with 1,000 buckets of cold water. T3. In this talk Sayadaw mentioned in brief the 10 insight corruptions when anicca lakkhana nana become mature. During seeing impermanence gooseflesh can be raised up. Don't be afraid. Vipassana knowledge becomes sharp with gooseflesh and gladness arise. Physical body becomes light. Don't take care of these things. Contemplate only impermanence. The body seems to be disappeared and rising up. In the process of practice, level 4th is important. The one who discern anicca can make this decision that in this life will transcend dukkha. It needs to see the impermanence without break and don't relax in your effort. The passing away of phenomenon is before, and the seeing is after. Whatever is arising, have to know it not there, not there. At this level only the last layer of ignorance exists. Your duty is just contemplating impermanence. Nothing has to do. The Dhamma will carry on its own functioning. Without the knowledge of past lives, you don't know where you came from. But one thing is sure, that was Dhamma sent you to here. In the same way the knowledge of impermanence will send you to the path knowledge. The place where its cessation occurs is disbanding or abandoning the ignorance and the craving of the khandha. Khandhas disappear. Not only disbanding the present khandha, but also the future one. The fourth level disbands kilesa only, not the khandhas. Path knowledge does both. By abandoning the khandhas and it disappears because khandha has the body. By abandoning tanha and its energy power is gone because tanha has no body.